Some time ago, I've uploaded a short about African leather, a beautiful leathery creation by Memo Paris. And I received a comment that the whole leathery collection wears beautifully in sweltering hot summer weather. I had to test this advice. So today, I'll be reviewing Italian leather by Memo Paris. Let's see what it would look like as a drawing. First, let me set the stage. Italian leather was released more than 10 years ago in 2013, and together with Irish leather, they became the very first perfumes in their leather collection. These two fragrances received so much love that Memo decided to add a lot more leathery fragrances to their line. The perfumer behind Italian leather is Alieno Massene. She loves creating gourmand fragrances and she's really good at it. Her love for sweet things, especially vanilla, made this fragrance like no other leather from the whole Cuir Nomade collection. Italian leather is supposed to tell a story of going on an adventure somewhere in the countryside, of two lovers sitting in a leathery cabriolet driving through the summery fields. Let's take an even closer look at the notes of this perfume. There are three main ones, and the whole idea behind this perfume is built around this very interesting trio. The very first note, which sets this perfume apart from almost every other leather perfume on the market, is tomato leaf, a sharp green vegetal note. The next one is, surprise, surprise, leather. And the last main note is vanilla. Vanilla is even among the top notes as well as the bottom. So this beautiful scent is winding through the whole story of the perfume. And yes, there is a story. Just after spraying, you can sense that tomato leaf accord emerging together with leather. And you might even begin to think that this is going to be a very spicy, masculine perfume. Just give it a few minutes. And then the most beautiful and completely unexpected vanilla emerges, making this perfume truly one of a kind. I have a very fond memory which is always awakened by Italian leather. It has everything to do with tomato leaves. When I was just a little girl, my grandfather had a greenhouse. I used to lovingly call him Diedukas. Due to our geographical location, Diedukas used to grow some of the vegetables inside the greenhouse. Cucumbers, bell peppers, and most importantly, tomatoes. He would spend hours tending the green leaves, trimming and tying their tender vines to wooden poles to help them grow bigger and healthier. Then he would come back home for a glass of water, and his hands and his t-shirt were stained green. I'll be always thankful to Italian leather for summoning this short, seemingly mundane memory from the back end of my mind. These green stains were caused by what's called tomato tar, and they had the most distinct green vegetal aroma. I don't believe he ever wore gloves, but if he did, we would have a perfect recreation of the opening part of this perfume. Yes, this is exactly what I'm going to draw for my main drawing. I have to include a tiny greenhouse somewhere. One might approach this perfume hoping to find a very green and herbal tomato leaf combined together with a badass Memo-style leather. But it's not like that. It's only one half of the story. The other half begins when that beautiful vanilla slowly enters the chat. Italian leather presents its more leathery aspects on a blotter. This turned out so cute. Look at this. Let's add some color. But on my skin, it turned into a fully creamy vanilla with these beautiful green aspects and the subtlest touch of leathery badassery. This might be controversial, or maybe I'm uncovering a big secret here, but don't really bother trying Italian leather if you're looking for that strong, badass, real leather scent. But do try Italian leather if you're looking for an interesting vanilla perfume. Or if you thought that you never really liked vanilla perfumes. Or if you're looking for a very soft, easy to tolerate, beginner level leather, also try this one. There are green, luscious vines hanging all over the place, and a small figure is tending the tomatoes. They need to be fixed to a rod so that the plants would start climbing. Since the juice from tomato leaves is so potent, it always stains your hands green. So the tiny gardener decided to put on some leather gardening gloves. It's really humid inside, and you can really feel how leather and those green vines play together and create a very strong aroma. But something is missing, the vanilla part, of course. And it's not only vanilla. There's also benzoin, myrrh, opoponax, and tolu balsam. And together they fuse into this beautifully sweet, warm, enveloping cloud. In the beginning of my video, I read a comment that said that Italian leather wears beautifully during the summer. Would I agree? Yes, it suits this season. It does smell like a very elevated and fancy garden, but it never gets cloying or too sweet. Of course, other seasons may enhance different aspects of the perfume. I drew a miniature greenhouse with tomatoes growing inside. Someone is trimming the vines while wearing leather gloves. But it turns out that there's a sweet cloud outside, and he's playing with this building like a happy little kid with a dollhouse. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that my review was fun and entertaining. Maybe it brought a new point of view to an already well-established leather perfume. If it did, please consider subscribing. I'll be back the next week with more. Bye.